Hi guys, Lane here. In case you didn't know, I'm a hairdresser. I've been a hairdresser for years. I've worked with hundreds of people with their hair and with their scalp, and I just wanted to answer a question that I get asked a ton. And that question, of course, is how often should I be washing my hair? Now, I've been asked this hundreds of times, and I've been able to help a lot of people get on their perfect regimen. But I just wanted to talk about why I am making this video right now. So I went on the internet and I typed in, how often should I be washing my hair? Because I wanted to know what the internet had to say about this. And I was very, very disappointed with the answer I got from the internet. It was all clickbait articles, and they were all sponsored clickbait articles. They were all selling people a shampoo and conditioner, and they were all getting ad revenue by coming up with the perfect formula for how everyone should wash their hair this many times a week. Bogus lies, incredible, just incredible lies. I've never been more disappointed with articles in my life from people that have never even seen anyone else's scalp except their own. Just no hairdressers were even consulted in these articles, or even doctors. They were just people talking, bloggers just talking, and getting, ad revenue, and then they were sponsored, so they were selling shampoos. Bogus. So I'm going to tell you guys, as someone that's seen and worked with hundreds of people, washed hundreds of heads, seen hundreds of scalps, and seen hundreds of sets of hair, and asked hundreds of people how often they wash their hair and what products they're using, I'm going to tell you how you can figure out how often you should be shampooing your hair. So the answer is simply, there isn't a number that fits everyone. It depends on if you're oily, dry, if you work out, what products you use, how many products you use, if these products go on the scalp. And I just want to clarify, those are the things, plus a couple other just random things, like if you have skin conditions. But anyways, those are the things that are going to cause you to shampoo your hair a certain amount of times. Now you might be saying, but I have color-treated hair. Now that changes how you will be washing your hair. It doesn't change how often you're going to be washing your hair, because you're not going to be changing your skin type here. It changes how you're going to be washing your hair. It's going to be giving you different ways to extend how long you can wash your hair, what products you use. So that's what you should be doing if you have chemically treated hair or curly hair. When I say mechanically damaged hair, or hair that's easily mechanically damaged, curly haired people, just follow that route, because let's be honest, curly hair with mechanical damage go hand in hand. Brushing it, don't want to be doing that. Don't want to be aggressively shampooing it and rubbing it together. All that's going to be damaging the integrity of the curls. So anyways, let's talk about what makes a healthy scalp. Now, this is something I learned way back in beauty college, and I found it to be 100% true. So the two ways that you can have a healthy scalp is it needs to be stimulated and it needs to be clean of debris. Now let's talk about debris a little bit. So debris is sebum, product, oil, and flakes of skin, typically. There's some other things. There's pollutants that it can be. There's just some other things, dust, but those are the big ones. So when these build up on the scalp, it can cause a number of issues. Thankfully, these issues are cleared up just simply shampooing your hair. That's all it takes. Now, the most common issue from debris building up is going to be flakes on the scalp and dry hair. Now, let's talk about both those. When there's so much buildup on the scalp that it causes flakes of skin within the hair and scalp, and it can also cause some yellowing of the flakes and yellowing of the scalp, and it can also cause itchiness, and itchiness can also lead into more flakes. So now I want to know, flaky scalp doesn't necessarily mean dry scalp. Flakes typically come from not shampooing and stimulating the scalp. Now you might be yelling, oh, I have flakes and I don't not shampoo enough. Well, that could be 100% true. But let's talk about why some people it's not exactly true. If you don't exfoliate your legs and you don't wash your legs, what happens to your legs? It gets all flaky and dry and ugh, right? If they're not moisturized and properly exfoliated, they get flakes and they look like alligator skin. That's exactly what it looks like. So if you don't exfoliate your scalp, guess what's going to happen to your scalp? The same exact thing. So there's other causes of flakes too, obviously. This includes a fungus. This can be over exfoliating, like if you wash your face too many times and you exfoliate your face too many times, it peels. Those can cause it too. It can also be an allergic reaction to the products and shampoos that you're using. But typically, when someone comes to me with flakes, I can cure it in one sitting. And that's with a good clarifying shampoo and putting them on the right regimen, and they never come back to me with flakes again. Typically, again, if this is different for you, don't follow that method. If you have excessively dry skin, just all over where you have psoriasis and eczema, consider going to medicated shampoos for those as well. So as for it causing dry hair, buildup causes dry hair, you might be thinking, that's ridiculous, it causes oily hair. But let's talk about that a little more. If there's so much buildup that's on top of the hair is not softened by your natural oils on your scalp or any oils you put on there. It is so hard and is so coated. How is the product and how is the oil even supposed to penetrate the hair? It doesn't. That's why there are certain people that get their hair sprayed every day. They use hairspray every day. They coat their hair every day with hairspray to the point where it's just a helmet on each, helmet head, but it's just a coat on each hair strand. Guess what their hair is? It's very, very, very dry and very brittle because it's undernourished because of how coated and how much debris there is on their hair. So again, if you don't remove the debris, it can cause that. So I stated before that the scalp needs to be stimulated. That's again the part 2 for making sure your scalp is healthy. This brings blood flow to the skin. It creates the optimal environment for hair growth. It doesn't cause hair growth. It creates the optimal environment. I cannot stress that enough. Stimulating your scalp is not going to make your hair grow. It will create the optimal environment for it. Stimulating your scalp removes all debris from the hair follicles within the scalp. So that helps with, again, optimal environment for hair growth. It just helps clear out the skin, exfoliates the skin, makes it nice and clean up here. Now let's talk about another metaphor for that. Let's say you haven't washed your hair in 5 days. It is nice and debris filled up here. It's coated. And you wash your hair without stimulating it, and you wash your scalp without stimulating it. That's kind of like taking a plate that's been covered in dried food for 5 days and running it under the water and then just putting some soap on it and letting it rinse off without touching it with your hands, without scrubbing it, and without using a sponge to clean it. You need to stimulate that plate to get it clean, just like you need to stimulate your scalp to get it clean and get it exfoliated. So I like metaphors a lot. If you are a heavy product user, especially right at the scalp, you're going to have to shampoo more. If you work out, you're going to create more oil on your scalp, so you're going to have to shampoo more. If you already have excessively oily skin, you're going to shampoo more. But on the other hand, if you don't use product, you could probably shampoo less. If you have dry, not flaky, dry or normal skin, you're going to shampoo less. When I say dry, I mean dry scalp and skin. I don't mean dry hair. I have dry hair. That doesn't mean I'm anything. This doesn't mean anything. It just changes what products you're going to be using and how you're going to be using them. It doesn't change how often you are, unless you can change your genetics and change your skin type. So let's talk about that now. What if you have color-treated hair and you want to avoid shampooing to keep the color in? Great. I highly recommend this. The longer you wait without compromising your scalp and hair and health, the better. So you can find your own personal regimen to find out how long you can wait, and you can find your own sweet spot. So if you want to help the longevity of your hair color, use a shampoo that's specifically formulated for that. Now I just want to make sure that everyone here knows that when a bottle of shampoo says it's color safe, it doesn't mean it's going to help the longevity of your hair color. It simply means that you can use it on your hair. That's all it means. So, for example, I know plenty of professional products that say they are color safe, that completely strip hair color because they're filled with sulfates, they're filled with alcohol, and they're filled with salts. So you might ask, well, then why do they say color safe? Well, technically they are. Technically they're low sulfate, and technically you can use them on color treated hair, but it doesn't help the longevity of the hair color. So you're free to ask me or look online to figure out what hair shampoos are going to be best for color treated hair. There's a lot of answers out there. Typically you want to find something that's sulfate free, low lather, anything like that. For curly haired people, same thing for you. What a sulfate is a detergent, and detergents strip the hair, including color. They're great at removing debris, and they're great at removing oil, but they're also great at removing hair color. So there's other ways to clean the hair and clean the scalp without using sulfates, and that's what those other shampoos do. A lot of them use fruit acids and things like that to clean the hair. Much healthier for the hair. So I think that covers everything. So I did come up with 7 little tips for you guys. These tips are just how to shampoo, some tips to make it so you can shampoo less, just a couple tips. So the first one is for people that wash their hair at night and go to bed with wet hair. So I've seen this many, many times, and it's awesome because you don't want to be blow drying your hair anyways. So think of it this way. If you're going to bed with wet hair, like sopping wet hair on your scalp, it's warm back here, it's wet, it's moist, and it's on your scalp. You're going to have to shampoo quick after that. It's just the way it is. You're creating the optimal environment for bacteria growth, oil production, because your skin's going to be like, wait, what's going on? Oil. So you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to leave moisture on the scalp in a dark, damp area, for 8-9 hours. So especially when I talk to people and I ask, is your hair still wet in the morning? And they say yes. And I'm like, well, that's not good. So if you must shampoo at night and you must not blow dry your hair, at least dry your scalp. At least blow dry your scalp, and blow dry it at least maybe just 25 to 50% dry. Get it dry enough that it'll dry within a couple hours and you don't spend all night mushing wet moisture up on your scalp all night. That's not good for you. That's just not good for you. Stop doing that. That's probably the reason you have to shampoo more if you do that and you find that you need a shampoo like the next night. That's probably why. It's because you're creating that environment. Number 2, shake your dry shampoo out. So this is something I see a lot of people do, is they do their dry shampoo and they pat it into their hair and then they leave it. No. Shake it out, brush it out, shake it out, get it out of the hair. So how dry shampoo works is it's a powder that attaches itself to the oils and sebum, and then when you shake it out, it tumbles out of the hair. So if you leave it on the hair, it's just powder that's absorbed into the oils and it just sits there. It's debris. You have debris on your hair. Shake it out. It's dust at that point. Just shake it out. So part 3, when shampooing, please massage and focus on your scalp, not your ends, especially if you have curly hair or chemically damaged hair or mechanically damaged hair at all. Don't be doing this. Don't do that with your shampoo. Why does this need to be shampooed that vigorously anyways? It's not close to the scalp, so it's not getting any oils or sebums or skin cells. It's all the way down here. So why are you doing that? Just kind of let the suds kind of just rinse over them. That's fine. That's all you need. When you're up here, you should be massaging in, and that's the stimulation part of cleaning your scalp and getting a healthy scalp. You should be massaging your scalp and really working on up here, and then let it all rinse down. Don't even attempt to shampoo your hair. Attempt to shampoo your scalp. So Next step. Don't put conditioner on your scalp. So if you put conditioner on your scalp, you're gonna have to shampoo quicker anyways, because you just put a bunch of gunk on your scalp that's not meant for your scalp. There might be conditioners out there that are meant for the scalp. That's awesome. Use them. Typically, 99% of them are not for the scalp, so they're for the ends of the hair. Just put them on the ends and rinse out. All right, and the next step is, if you have issues with debris and buildup and just no shampoo is helping you, you need to get a clarifying shampoo. These are for in-between shampoos, and it will help remove all buildup for you. Now, there is a downside to this. 99% of clarifying shampoos are not color safe, because what they do is they remove all the debris they can. There are 2 shampoos that are clarifying shampoos that are okay for color treated and mechanically damaged hair. And that is Pureology has one and Lanza has one. Lanza is spelled Lanza and Pureology is Pure, Pure Ochy. I'm pretty sure. Both of them have clarifying shampoos and both of them are for color treated hair, aka mechanically treated hair as well. So that's kind of what you need to go towards if you have buildup issues. Personally, what I do, and this isn't for everyone, but I go as long as I can without shampooing, and then I shampoo 2 to 3 times. And that really cleans the scalp as good as possible, and it helps push my shampoo back as long as I do not shampoo. If you leave nothing there, it takes longer for it to build up, understandably. And it's pretty much, I could probably use a clarifying shampoo, but I'm not going to. So next step, step 6, avoid putting products on the scalp if you want to push your shampoo out. So if you use root pumps for volume, things like that, and you're having issues where you're going to have to shampoo every day and you don't want to, you might want to skip that product. You might want to just blow dry it up if you can. Putting products on the scalp is what causes a lot of debris and a lot of buildup there. Okay, step 7. This one's fun. So if you have curly hair or mechanically damaged hair or chemically treated hair, click away. So this one is if you have more of a normal hair. You might want to look into Boar Bristle treatments. So Boar Bristle brushes are brushes that really do exfoliate the scalp. What you do is you run it over the scalp in flicking motions all the way up. I work on every section, maybe 3 brushes, really brushing at the scalp, not the hair, but the scalp. And you don't even need to run it all the way through the hair, literally just at the scalp. And what you're doing is you're exfoliating and bringing up all that sebum, oil, dead skin cells, and just super exfoliating your scalp. This needs to be done before you shampoo though, because this is going to make your hair so dirty and so oily with the next week's worth of sebum and week's worth of skin cells that you're going to have to shampoo afterwards, and you might even have to shampoo a couple times to get rid of all of it. But afterwards, you're going to have the cleanest, most stimulated scalp of your lifetime. Don't do it to the point where it hurts though, and if you're doing this and it's creating more issues than it helped, then stop doing that. But this has been a trick for many, many years. I think that's everything. You're free to message me and ask me what you think you should be using on your hair. I'd love to give you my preferences and my brand, what's it called? I'd love to give you my preferences and my suggestions for you. I do work in a salon that is exclusively Redken. However, I know many brands and many products because I've been in the industry for as long as I have been. I've worked with HG, Kenra, Living Proof, Pureology, Matrix, Joyco, Paul Mitchell. I've worked with all of them. I know practically every brand, and I can suggest to you what's best for you, not what's best for whatever brand I'm in. So I kind of know enough to suggest everything. And I'm not going to suggest to you the most expensive thing. There are amazing shampoos and conditioners out there that are a cheaper price point. For example, Burt's Bees shampoo and conditioner that's sulfate free. Amazing. And I think it's $7 a bottle. Sulfate free, no lather, amazing, perfect, especially if you have either mechanically damaged or chemically distressed hair. It really cleans the scalp, and I'm pretty sure it does use the acids in fruits. Anywho, just message me if you have any questions, but I'm glad I could make this video and kind of explain my side, a hairdresser's side, to that very asked question, how often should I be shampooing my hair? So thank you. Again, message me if you have any questions, but see you later.